Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. We got us in the building. Jordana Raffia.
This is the God Rashad.
Chop it up with me a little bit. This is Crown Knowledge Radio.
Those with sight can only see the light.
Power in the crown, in the crown, in the crown, in the crown. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Crown. I am your host for The Crown, Jordana Raffia, the hostess, the goddess, the temptress, daughter of divine light, goddess of infinite love, or vice versa, either way you want to say it. Welcome to The Crown tonight. Thank you for listening in. If you're not on the line, thank you for, coming in on your phone and listening to the show tonight. This isn't an easy topic for me, and I'm hoping that the brother Fred is joining me tonight, or any of the Crown team members that would like to call in, or anyone else within the sound of my voice that is listening to the show. Please call in 515-605-9858. 515-605-9858. Welcome to The Crown, and welcome to a special Thursday night segment that I am, it's going to be moving parts. It's going to be changing, upgrading, rearranging. It's going to be some spiritual movement in this topic. I'm not real sure what that looks like, but it definitely, in fact, will take on a mind of its own. If you have not listened to the First Life episode 1, where I kind of got into what Hidden and Dark Corners will be, what it's all about. And again, not my idea. I didn't invent it. But it does seem to be picking up traction in mainstream. And it is sad and unfortunate for me to announce that not only do I have a personal experience with this particular topic, but there are other people like myself, and I guess the brother Fred is somewhat familiar with the topic, as well as other individuals that we may know of. But I do know that mainstream has begun reporting these particular stalking or gang stalking or targeting incidents, and I'm seeing them little by little. Like I said, pop up on news. I believe one was on 60 Minutes. They had a newscast in a different state, a different town, and where a young woman and her child were being stalked, harassed, targeted. It's weird. I know. It's interesting. It's weird. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Kind of complex, maybe misappropriated in a lot of ways, because I know there's been, just from the last few years of research that I've done on and off about the subject, not really knowing what it was all about, why something like this would happen, or what it would be or turn out to be in somebody's personal life situation. Turns out that, again, and this is just the information that's out there online, that this is an agency that is hired by someone that could possibly be government funded. That's weird. That was very weird to me, and I'm like, okay, what about the judicial? We have a judicial system, Supreme Court, we have the DOJ. We got what happened to all of that? Like, I don't get it. But anyway, those are other questions for maybe another episode. But I do know that there's also misinformation, and that's another thing that early on, a few years back, I kind of clicked on a female's, I guess you could call it at the time when TikTok was becoming pretty popular. And there were a lot of, incidents of individuals, doing TikToks about being targeted, being harassed, being stalked, being threatened, being otherwise harassed and actually stung, or otherwise attacked with some sort of weapon. And I've mentioned that on and off in some of my shows as well. And hopefully we will get to some of that during and throughout some of these episodes of Hidden in Dark Corners, and what it's all about, how it was created, who created it, what, and we may not get any of the whys. Because right now, from where I sit, it's crazy. If you are a lover or a connoisseur, or just even a listener or a cross watcher of tarot, a lot of this information comes out. Shout out to my spiritual sisters who talk in coded language, and it's also my language as well, but I love it. And not only that, but my spirit guides, my ancestors. So shout out to them right at the top. Shout out to the Most High God Creator, who's always attached to my life, warrior gods that always fight on my behalf. It just is what it is. I can't explain it. And just as my brother, as my co-host that does the show with me, Rashad, says, people have to get there. They have to be there, and to be the, I don't know, it's the chosen one, but sometimes it's the black sheep. And sometimes you have to take that role as a black sheep to even halfway understand what in the hell is happening right now on the planet. So with that being said, I'm going to continue on with the show. Like I said, somebody from the KKR team is coming in to join me tonight and just talk a little. This is a Thursday night, so I know most of my team members also have other duties that they have to attend to. So it's me. And the topic tonight, Hidden in Dark Corners and Rocking in the Show, just to open up. We're still opening up the package. We haven't even, tested the product. We're still opening up the package on this particular subject. And what I was going to mention earlier is the disinformation. So a lot of people get out there, and it's just as hard as this is to describe, to create a scenario where people across the diaspora, or at least, across the world, and most certainly in the United States, I don't know if that's just I doubt it, but I don't know if this is just a thing in the United States. I doubt it. But let's just say the United States, and saying that people in several different states that never met each other, that's telling the same story repeatedly. I mean, are they lying? Really? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking the question. But you do get that type of disinformation. And of course, different disinformation is the friend to narcissists and karmics, sociopaths that want to write a narrative. They want to paint a picture of what they need you to be in order for their scenario to work. So the disinformation is part of it. And boy, has the disinformation been flying in my family over the last several weeks. But and they say, well, Jordana, if this is going on and you sound like you good with it. No, I'm not good with it. Well, you sound like it's okay. No, I never said it was okay. But what do you do when you have no clue, first of all, what's happening to you? Second of all, you don't know who's doing it to you. Thirdly, I'd say by all given accounts in most situations, and I don't know all situations across the U.S. that this may be happening to, but you don't even know why. So, yeah, it is very interesting, and it's like I said, the disinformation is real. I have just been joined in the Crown, in the subject tonight, in the forum with the brother Fred, I believe, who is on the line with me right now. Fred, is that you?
Yes, ma'am. You know it is.
All right, now say hello to the people.
Hello, people. Beautiful. All walks of life and energy. What's going down?
Yeah, love. We're going to try to, it's hard to talk about this particular type of subject and keep it high vibrational. I, for one, am able to do that. Basically, that's how I've been making my way through this particular cycle in my life. That is actually closed, by the way. I don't know if you didn't know that, Brother Fred, but this particular Dark Night of the Soul cycle, not that there won't be other cycles, but this particular one is closed. And that's a whole nother show that I'm trying to write up. I'm writing it up in my head now, and I was thinking about it earlier before I came on. But yeah. So I'm just getting started and was explaining to the people, what happened to I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. Whatever happened to I'm going to take this to court? Whatever happened to I'm going to report you? Whatever happened to, and I get jealousy, envy, and I get retaliation, I get vengeance, I get hatefulness, I get all of that. But to go to a level of actually stalking, targeting, harassing, and potentially harming someone because of whatever the scenario is weird. And one of the other things, before I let you chime in, was that just based on my limited research, because I haven't even begun to dive deep into this subject, but just based on my limited research, this is a created type of, dare I say, agency, maybe a private agency, I'll just say that can be funded by other means of, I don't know, government funding or other type of funding to actually give credence to someone doing this. I was really surprised. Now, again, let me just make the disclaimer. I don't know how true that is or not. I'm just telling you what I saw and what's out there right now on the internet. Brother Fred.
You're saying that it's okay to do what they're doing. Did you just say that?
No. What I'm saying is that there's some information out there that kind of hints to the notion that this could be an actual created agency. Like someone has created the means by which to do this to targeted citizens, like everyday ordinary.
Oh yeah, okay, and it's like you were saying, it got to be a higher force for this to happen. For example, you got to have like some information on a person to do that, for one, and two, you got to be in control to be like, if you do something like that for, targeting and gang stalking and stuff like that, that means you've been given the okay to do that, and you won't be in question. You won't get questioned for doing what you're doing, and you're on a salary for doing it, and on the side for doing your regular job when you have law enforcement involved. And that is, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah, no doubt it's a real thing. And once it hit mainstream news, go ahead. You said what?
Yeah, and it's crazy because it hit mainstream news, and it's like, when stuff hit mainstream news, you know how people are still stuck in the matrix, and a lot of stuff that they hear in mainstream news, they're going to pretty much gravitate to it, and because it's pretty much all they know. And like I say, when you're stuck in the matrix and you don't have a own thought process, you're going to gravitate to whatever you see, or I guess one on TV or whatever you hear on the radio, and whatever everybody else is listening to, you part of that sheep flock, whatever. And then it's displayed on for the masses, like the people I just described, see, and they still don't see it. It's like they living in like a part of a movie. It's living in a movie because you don't see this. And like I said, the movie, part of the movie, one of the movies is like Truman Show, because you don't see that even when it's posted on mainstream news, you don't see it. But you know why? Because they still stuck in the part of the propaganda, because they're trying to see who's going to be president. But go ahead.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, it could be some of that, and it could be all of it. There's a couple of things you said. Having law enforcement involved in that, and that's something I can speak on as well. Because as far as my situation goes, I know for a fact that there's been either it's got to be one or the other. Either the police know it and they're doing it based on wherever the foundation of my particular situation started. So it had to be based off of a lie, and then someone took the lie and then ran with the narrative. So I've had the police called on me. I know that for sure. I know that I've been falsely turned in to law enforcement, because number one, they end up following me when I'm out trying to go buy a loaf of bread. And next thing you know, I'm being followed by the police, and I'm like, okay, yeah, they called the police on me today. Like, or they've, well, I mean, if you're following me, you got my license plate number, you know what street I'm on, you know where I'm going, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So that kind of...
They do everything they can to make sure that law enforcement got your information for us.
Of course.
You drive, what color.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they have to paint the narrative. They have to get a bigger picture to say, oh, yeah, because, one day we were da-da-da-da, and then she did this and just freaked it out, and now everybody in the neighborhood knows she's crazy. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you said what?
Especially around 4th of July, a holiday with a lot of fireworks. But go ahead.
Wow.
That's favorite one.
Yeah.
That's probably their favorite one.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, it's just the opposite. I get all of the fireworks around my house, and they're just not firecrackers. They're letting off half sticks of dynamite. Like, they were doing this when my 80-year-old mother was in the house with me. And it was just around this house. Now, of course, there were fireworks in the neighborhood, but around this house, it was the sonic boom fireworks. Like, they were lighting off half stick dynamite. Like, they were letting off cherry bombs and that kind of thing, like, all night, all from the time it got dark until time, like, I don't know what time, and then it just didn't stop there. Like, they started setting off fireworks here in May. The end of May, I had already had people throwing fireworks in the yard. They'll do it now. Like right now, as long as the weather is nice and they feel like, they know I'm resting or going somewhere, and they'll just, they're still letting off fireworks. It's funny because my brother just found fireworks in the garage the other day, and him and my nephew were next door, and they lit a firecracker outside my window, and I'm like, okay, who's lighting firecrackers? Like, and I'm like, okay, but I get it. Go ahead. You were gonna say something?
No, I was just saying a quick insert because that's part of the street theater and things like loud noises, which is like equivalent a lot of times to like terrorism noises, as far as like gunshots and bombs and stuff like that. So
correct.
Fireworks is like the next thing to firearms. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So it's like they do, like it's part of street theater for scare you and alert you and let you know at the same time that we're here.
Correct. Yeah. And well, what they don't know is I grew up around gunshots in New York, so I mean, I've been around gunshots in New York, not grew up, but I lived there for quite some time, so I know the difference between a firecracker and a gunshot. So now,
and a place where it's illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
New York.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard somebody actually get shot in New York, so I get it. You're like, those gunshots, and then you watch the news the next day, and you hear the news go, and they're announcing on such and street last night around 3 a.m., and I'm like, wow, that was the gunshot I heard. It was weird. But yeah, what you're talking about, though, it actually has a name. It's called a noise campaign. Based on the GangStalking, okay. Yeah, it's actually called a noise campaign. So not only is it fireworks or gunshots or backfires or whatever the case may be, it is also the weirdest thing is that they'll have the children scream at me when I come out of the house. So you have to ask yourself, first of all, how do you know I'm coming out of the house? Ask yourself that question first. Okay, let's just move on from there. So I'll come out to take the trash out. Say, and all of a sudden the children are screaming, and they're it's weird. It's very weird.
That's the closest thing. That's screaming a human voice is the closest thing to like a firearm or something like that. The loudest thing you can do.
During the day when you come outside.
Right. That's my first time hearing this. I'm glad you said that. Go ahead.
No. It gets deeper. But yeah, that is part of it. Having people, walk up and down the street. They used to have this guy that walked up and down the street, and it just so happens that he did it when I was sitting outside. Like, I never seen this dude any other time. Like, if I come out and sit on the porch and, I'm just sitting there trying to drink my coffee, noise, no noise, it really don't matter to me. But, and he'll start rapping real crazy. And it's just funny that it's always when I'm outside. It's weird. It's like, I don't hear this nigga rapping nowhere. Like, I don't see him this nigga don't have a TikTok. He ain't, he don't have a podcast. He ain't on Instagram. He's walking in front of my house, just rapping to us, and when I'm outside, he walks past and he's like rapping. He's rapping loud, like it's weird. Or they'll have a gang of, females walk down the street, or they'll have kids just like, now these children have yards. They have homes with yards, with fences on the yards. But for some reason, all the bike scooters, roller skates, mini bikes, 10 speeds, anything with wheels on it that children and teenagers can ride, they all end up in front of my house. That's weird. This house, out of all the streets, out of all the 11,000 streets in the neighborhood, they're in front of my house. But I get it, and again, that's part of it. The other part of the noise campaign is, I'm just riding past and my radio just happens to be bumping like that because my system is bumping in my ride. So, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, like I'm gonna ride past your house, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11, midnight, 1 o'clock. They really want to do it right now because I can hear them in the background. But they'll bump the music, and they used to do that when I would come on the show. They would start bumping the music really loud. But yeah, so if they know I'm washing, so I get up to go check the clothes, so they'll make sure they're at that window. If I'm sitting in the front watching TV, they'll make sure they're at that window. If I'm at the back in my bedroom, they'll make sure they're at that window. My house is covered on 2 streets. Yeah, it's rare that a house sits on 2 streets, but my house happens to sit on 2 streets. There's a street in back of my house, and you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the streets aren't even really, well, the street in front is a street. The street in back of me is a side street of a side street. So it's really that's an alley. You understand what I'm saying? Right. That's an alley. But funny is always cars parked back there. And yeah, so
the spot
noise
that I live in is the same way. It's like my little spot 'cause I live behind my mom, and it's like a little trail or whatever, like right where I live at. So I live like the same way. It's like I live behind the main street, but at the same time I live behind a side street.
Correct. Yeah, it's a side street of a side. Like there's no way the amount of traffic since I've moved here that goes up and down that street should be that heavy. I don't think it's ever been that heavy. Since I've moved here, it's gotten heavier.
And the crazy part is from what you're saying, because that is crazy because you got heavy traffic because, well, like not heavy, but from what you're saying, because you don't have, it sounds like you don't really have like a local business that's like in like a 2 to 3 mile radius, and if it is, it's probably like maybe a corner store or stuff like that. But
it's a convenience store. Correct. Yeah, there's a convenience store. But and the crazy part about that is, it's a convenience store, so you can get beer, you can play the lottery, that type of thing. So, it does get a little bit of traffic, but the store smells like they are hiding dead bodies in there. I don't even know why anybody would go. I don't. My brother, of course, he goes to get his beer and cigarettes over there. Everybody in the neighborhood knows him. He's over there all the time. And I asked him one day, I said, does it still stink in there? He said, yes. Yes, it does. And I mean, just clear, like I didn't even hardly get it out of my mouth. And I'm like, that's weird. That's very weird. And they were shut down at one point, but then they opened back up. And I thought maybe the health inspector shut them down because it smells like rotten bodies. It really does. Like, yeah, nobody would ever know the difference. I don't know what they clean with, but anyway, I digress. But yeah, no. So that's what it's called. So the fireworks, the backfiring, the cars. It just so happens that if I open my back door to get air to come through the house, I have a screen that locks, and I can open my windows. When it gets to that kind of weather where you're sick of the air conditioner, it just so happens, I might want to go sit outside, and somebody just that particular day they decide that they're going to cut the grass. Not during the spring when everybody else, and it's like, you can't do anything about somebody cutting their grass, right? But
no.
Right. And I noticed one of my neighbors in the back, they've moved the trampoline closer to the fence. It was back towards their house, but now it's closer to the fence that separates my driveway from their house. And so they've moved it closer to my house. So if I dare to sit out there, they'll call a gang of kids and tell them to go over there and start jumping on the trampoline. And as a matter of fact, 1, 2, 3, at least 4 houses surrounding my house, there's a trampoline. I don't know if the trampolines were on sale. I'm just saying. At least 3 or 4 houses around this house from block to block has a trampoline. It's very weird. I get it, and I get why. But go ahead. Hmm?
Yeah, it is weird because when I was growing up, and probably when you was growing up, whoever had a trampoline, and more likely it's going to be a big trampoline, it's probably going to be the only trampoline in the neighborhood.
That's going to be the only trampoline in the neighborhood.
Jumping fun, acting fool on Saturday because school out.
Everybody come down here. Yeah, everybody come down here. We barbecue and everybody, we take turns jumping on the trampoline. Yep.
And then all the trampoline going to stop because you're going to have that one person they're going to end up on the end of the trampoline and end up hurting themselves.
And they're going to fall and break their neck. Correct. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's
where
it was in my neighborhood. Yeah.
And then all the trampoline jumping going to stop probably for a while and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And then any parent, almost every parent that had a trampoline probably done been through this. Or they end up jumping and get stuck. But you know what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're getting at. No, it was the same way in my neighborhood. Yeah, only one person I knew that had a trampoline, but they didn't even live in my neighborhood. They lived way. They was like 1.5 miles from where we lived. But we would all go there, and the first time I got on a trampoline, I threw up. So I knew that wasn't my lane, but at the same time, I ruined it for everybody. Like, she ain't allowed on the trampoline no more. But I get it. I get it. We grew up in the same neighborhood, but as far as this whole, the scenario is, and the poking the bear kind of thing.
Can I say something right quick?
No, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, in 2024, trampolines done been out of style for about 15 years now. So
well, no, I mean, I guess with this whole, and I know you. I was thinking that too, like,
ain't nobody get no damn trampolines. But they might get the small ones just to fuck around with, but no. Go ahead.
I think with the Simone Biles thing and her being, I don't know. I get what it is because before it was a trampoline here, as far as my circumstance, they had one of those playhouses that you put. It was plastic, not the wood ones that we were used to back in the day, but it was a plastic, like a playhouse, like a little girl's giant life-size dollhouse. You know what I'm saying?
Blow up.
It wasn't blow up. It was the hard plastic, like big wheel plastic.
Yeah,
it was hard.
Yeah, I remember.
It was old.
Almost like the little castle type.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But it was a house. It had a roof on it. Instead of the kids playing in the house. Now, this was right next to my mother was living during this time. This was before she passed away. They pushed the dollhouse once again close up to the fence where we live, because the fence goes from the back street to the front street between the two houses. They pushed the dollhouse up next to the fence. Now, first it was all the way up by there. The garage was nowhere near where we could even see it. It wouldn't have bothered us anyway. It was way back in the yard. Nobody could see it. The kids would play in it. No problem. That wasn't good enough. So they pushed it closer to the fence so that when me and my mother would come out to sit on the porch to just catch some air, the kids would all come over and climb on top of the roof of the playhouse and look over at me and my mother. I mean, just staring us directly in the face. Like, my mother's looking at me. She's like, what are they doing up there? Like 3 or 4 of them. They make the kids crawl on top of it. And some of them were little, but these were big kids. They would climb on top of it. They had. Go ahead.
Do you after recalling it, do you remember the look they had in their eyes?
No, they made it clear that they was fucking with me and my mother. Let's just keep
Okay.
it a buck and a dime. Yeah, they made it clear that's why they were up there, and they made it abundantly clear that their parents told them to do it. They would eventually call across the street, "You guys get down from there," to make it look like they really, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But one of the little girls told me to kiss her ass. These are children. Yeah, she had a little stuffed animal, and she was bouncing the stuffed animal and bending it over. And me and my 80-year-old mother now, mind you, my mother was 82 or 83 at the time. Now she's bending this little stuffed animal. Kiss my butt, kiss my butt. These are kids. These are children. So you already let me know your parents told you to do that, or whoever the handler is that's handling your parent, they told you to do that. Yeah, do whatever you can. Get her to say something to you. We want her to say, so we can say that she's harassing our children. You understand what I'm saying? They have to paint a narrative. They have to make it come out like they are doing something. They're not doing anything, and I'm the one that's harassing everybody in the neighborhood. So I get it at the end of the day.
And you know what's crazy?
Mm-hmm.
They using the kids because
absolutely.
When you texted me yesterday, and I was late on responding, the first thing came to my mind is when you were telling me the incident you had.
Mm-hmm.
It was at I can't remember what you were saying. What it was? It was maybe a wedding or a reunion. It was something, but you were telling me that this little girl.
Yeah,
she
I was at a wedding.
She was coming over there, and she was so-called secretly attacking you by
correct.
Kicking
they
you
were sending her. Yeah, she was. Yeah. I was standing in the crowd, and so when they right.
Could you
the little girl
back again so I can hear it and the audience can hear it too on how low people can get till they get to the point where they use their own siblings or kids and
so just
young people.
Absolutely, and I figured that out immediately. Like I said, what parent would tell their child to tell an adult to even harass an adult? First of all, let's just start there. But you told your child to tell an adult to kiss your butt? Like, this is what you're teaching your children. But at the same time, so just real quick, I was at a wedding, my nephew's wedding. Oh, go ahead. You want to say something?
Hold on. Before you go into it, don't forget the part about the guardian angel, the elderly that was sent to protect.
Absolutely, because that was significant. Yeah, that was very significant.
Go ahead.
But no,
I'm gonna let you go ahead and do what you do. It was so good.
No, real quick though, I was at my nephew's wedding, and of course, every time I do anything to be in a crowd, I always take divine direction, because sometimes it's my crowd and sometimes it's not. But it was my nephew's wedding, so I was already set. I already had, my outfit that I was going to wear. There was a theme, and he gave us the colors, and it just so happened I said, okay, Spirit, let me know if this is what I need to do or not. And when I got the colors and I looked in my closet and I had the exact colors that the theme was about, I was like, okay, it's meant for me to go. And it was a beautiful wedding. It really was. But so fast forward, we're getting up and we're going, they're getting in line and we're trying to get our dinner and so on and so forth. The first time, it wasn't this little girl. It was a different child. It was a boy, and he was smaller. And he just ran right into the back of me and took off running outside. I turned around. I really don't know which direction he went, and I was like, okay, here they go with that bullshit. So I was like, okay. So I went, got my dinner. I was real careful. Plus, I got on heels. I got heels on. So I'm like, okay, if they make the child run up to me and I got heels on, not only am I going to drop this plate, but I'm going to drop this child, whoever it is. So I did get to the table. I got my plate. I got chilly at some point, went outside. I changed my shoes, and I got my jacket. When I got inside, I said, okay, it's going to be chilly when I come back out. I put my jacket on the back of the chair. I went and used the bathroom. I come back, and my sister was picking my jacket up off the floor. Just that quick. My jacket was on the back of my chair. But when I came out, my sister was picking it up off the floor. She said, your jacket was on the floor. I'm like, I don't see how. And I put it on the back of the chair. Okay, but I already knew how. So I already knew they were in there. So they were doing the husband and wife dance, and my nephew and his wife were out on the floor, and they're doing their dance. So everybody got up and gathered around. And all of a sudden, so when the little child didn't work, they sent a bigger girl. Now, this little girl is like 7, 8. Now, because I think the first child might have been 5, maybe 6, maybe that age. But this little girl, she had to be close to 10, if she wasn't 10. And she barreled into the back of me, but it just so happened this woman grabbed her. Because I turned around to see, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, okay, this is a bigger person. So I'm thinking they're really trying to take me down. Like, they're trying to make me, like, fall down on the floor. But I was already standing in front of a chair. So she just kind of, I got pushed, but, you know, and it was with some force because this is a bigger little girl. And before I could turn around and say anything, this woman grabbed her up. I don't even know where this old lady came from. She grabbed her by her arm and she pulled her. And she said, do you see this woman standing right here? And she said, yes, ma'am. She said, you tell her you're sorry. She said, you ran into her. The little girl was terrified. I could see the look on her face like, oh, shit, they got me in trouble. She was terrified. The woman made her, she said, you tell this woman that you're sorry. And don't you do that again. This little girl was terrified. She said, I'm sorry. I said, sweetie, it's okay. Because in the forefront of my mind, my first response was like, who told you to do that? That's what I was going to say, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that here. Because because then I would have to take it a step further. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't know where this woman came from, and I don't think I saw her again the whole night. I'm sure she was somebody's auntie, grandmama, something. But she was right there, and before I could turn around and say anything to the lady. Now, here's the other thing, and I'm going to add another layer because you're going to be like, oh, wow. If I had said something, I believe this woman could have been there just in case I said something to the little girl. I thought about that scenario too. But either way, the woman was there, and I never saw her again. But you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the woman could have been a plant.
Yep.
And said, you know, after she, you know, barrel into her, you grab her and pretend like you chastising her. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because my mind is wired that way, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm always the pessimist and not always the optimist. And I'm trying to be more optimistic than pessimistic. But I am a bit of a pessimist because I'm like, it was so convenient that woman was there and sent the little girl away. Because the first thing I would have asked the little girl, if the woman hadn't been standing there, was, who told you to do that? Because that's where my mind I already knew they were in the room.
And before you was about to ask, the woman had already grabbed her up. Well,
yeah, the woman had already grabbed her up because when I turned around and I saw, I'm like, oh, they sent the big kid. That's where my mind was. And I didn't really see the woman at first. And she grabbed her. And then I looked up at her. So I'm thinking this is her granddaughter. Because you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say anything to anybody's child anyway. Kid, they send the kids over here to throw trash in my yard. It's trash in my yard every day. So they send the kids. If it ain't trash in the front, I just picked up a Dorito bag. I just got my lawn cut. So if I just got my lawn cut and I left to run an errand, I come back and there's potato chips bags in the lawn, where did they come from?
It wasn't the wind. So
correct. No, not all the way up because my house sits back a little bit from the street. It's all the way up by my garage, by my house. Like, yeah, and ain't no wind blowing. We talking about 80-some degrees yesterday, and wasn't a piece of wind blowing. Like, no. So I already know they do that because when I went on vacation once and I came back, there was a plastic bag filled with concrete. It wasn't in my yard, but it was on the tree lawn. And I went outside and my brother looked at it. And he said, I'm not going to move that since it's got concrete in it. I said, it's got concrete in it. And I'm like, why would somebody put a trash bag, a white trash bag filled with concrete on my tree lawn. Why? Because they knew, first of all, I couldn't lift it. Well, at least they thought I couldn't. So, but yeah, I lifted it and I dumped the concrete in the middle of the street. So,
hold on for a second. I'm going back to
go back.
the nephew's wedding. I went back to the nephew's wedding right quick, and I'll go right back to the situation that you're talking about right now.
I'm keeping up. Go ahead.
It's like when you were saying that the kids was attacking or whatever, so to speak. It's like they had like a pattern going on because they looked at it. They looked at it and they saw what was going on. They were like, well, the younger little boy wasn't getting the job done. So we're gonna send an older, thicker child to try to irritate,
right? To at least
make pretty much sound like it make you go off. So
either make me go off or make me, slip and fall. Because it's a slippery floor. I got on heels. You know what I'm saying? And we were all standing there. But I think it was to give me more of a jolt. Like they really, this little girl really, if it wasn't for me being thick, she probably could have knocked me over. But because the little boy ran into me, he bounced off.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
The little boy ran into me, he bounced off. So, I could feel him. I knew he was there, but it was like a fly landed on me. I was like, oh, okay, that's somebody's child. But, yeah, so he hit one of these big thighs and just bounced off, and it was like, no, we got to send somebody bigger than that. Yeah, so they sent a bigger child.
And then at the time when this stuff was going on, did you, I always talk about spider senses. Did your spider senses start going off? Like you start getting more aware of the crowd and start like.
Here's the thing. I'm anytime I go somewhere, I know they're already there at this point. Now earlier when the stalking started way back, because I've been stalked from 3 states. This has been going on for like I was telling you and the guy Rashad. When I finally figured out what exactly was going on, this has been going on for 10 years now, close to 10 years now. This started in 2014, maybe 20. Yeah, because I left New York. And like I said, fast forward to about 6 months ago, I think is when I got the download about who it actually was. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense and then everything started flooding in. That's a whole nother show. And I will get to that show. Yeah, that's a whole nother show, and I'll get to that show because I know. Because it's very rare that you find out who's actually. For a long time too. You said what?
No, I'm saying we that's a whole nother show for us because we gonna get into that because it's been going on with me for a long time. So we're gonna do that.
Let me ask you a question. Did you know automatically who was doing the stalking?
You mean like when I realized
when you realized stuff was just weird, did you automatically know who it was?
Yeah, because
okay. And if you don't want to elaborate, you don't have to. I was just trying to figure out.
It's going to be a short elaboration, and hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I got you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. I thought you said they cut you off.
Nope, I'm here.
What it was is, I believe maybe you end up experiencing the same thing because I said this before. Like when you end up being isolated to yourself, and it's like you start reminiscing on the past, and you start asking yourself. When you're in a situation, the reason why you ask like, why am I to myself a lot, and why I'd rather just be to myself, and why I really don't trust people like talking about I don't really trust nobody. You start getting isolated, and you start asking questions. You're like, in the past, you start reminiscing in the past, you're like, okay, well, why did this happen with this person? Why did this person ask me this? And why this happened this way? And, you know, stuff like that. Then you have a, what is it? Where you be like, you find the answer to a question that you kind of been asking yourself, and you go like, oh, so that's why this was going on. So that's why this person did this. So that's why this happened to me this way and stuff like that. And then like, I realized that once I got to myself about, let me see, I say maybe, okay, I moved back from Shreveport a couple of years back. I say when I moved back from Shreveport and I realized, when I ended up getting isolated to myself, I said, wait a minute, I shouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. I should be doing like a little bit better than what I'm supposed to be. And I realized that it was like a lot of shady things going on and a lot of conversations going on when I went around. And I was just thinking about this the other day. I said, a lot of the conversations going on about me when I went around, because the Most High God was telling me, like, hey, these people are not right for you in your life. Mm-hmm. You need to cut them off.
Yeah.
They've been doing some stuff. They've been plotting and planning against you just to bring you down, because they know that you're different. They know that you're special. And
correct.
That your light irritate their demons and stuff like that. Because when you're born, everybody born, when you're born an angel. Mm-hmm. And the way you go through life, when you're born with a light because you're an angel.
Correct.
So the way you go through life, you can either brighten your light when you're born, or you could dim it. It's how on you. It's the way you go. It's the way how you want to do your life. You know what I'm saying? And when you're not forced to do certain things, there should be no excuse for you to do people the way you do and do the things that you do.
Right.
You should be trying to brighten your life every day, every second.
Everybody. Correct.
And if you ain't doing that,
everybody
because you were born with it. You were born with it. You were born with it. So what are you doing not trying to brighten your light? And you were born with it.
Because here's what one of my spiritual sisters said. She said, a lot of the people that they are bribing or paying to do this to you, they really don't want to do it. She said they might not express it, and they might not say it.
And you know what?
But they really don't want to do it. And either they'll say, well, I'll give you, $20, $100, whatever. I don't know the dollar amount, but whatever, we'll give you X amount of dollars if you do it. Because if I get so and so over here to do it, it's going to look too obvious. I need you to do it. The girl that came in the hotel that attacked me with the weapon in the hotel, they just needed to let me know. Yeah, we here. Yeah, we followed you. We followed you to your family reunion, and we want you to know it. And the girl was standing outside my room. And when I opened it, because the divine Holy Spirit said, open the door. And it was 3 times that I did that. And lo and behold, somebody was standing outside in the hallway. They were pretending like they were trying to get into a room, but they never did. That was the whole thing. So the girl but she was a tall, blonde, white girl.
Like they having a problem with the card?
No, she was just. The black lady that was outside my door, she was acting like she was having. And then they started messing with my key card. And a few times when I would go back to the room after being downstairs for whatever we were doing, the event, I would go back upstairs. My key card wouldn't work. And each time this white girl was standing out in the hallway. Again, they're always looking at their phone. I don't know if they're looking at me or they have the device to shut it down, because All my shit is hacked. I that's the way I operate. I operate like, girl, your phone is compromised, your computer, your stove, your refrigerator. They took the light out of my air fryer. Like everything is everything is compromised. They even blew the fuse on my dryer once, and I had to get it fixed. So this weapon is a multi-faceted type of thing. So if they want to fuck with something in the house, they make the lights blink on and off in here. They flicker the lights in the house. So all of this is necessary. So let me go back to the hotel at my family reunion. The girl was standing there in the hallway. I said, okay. So when she figured out I knew it was her, she again they look at me and they just laugh. They laugh right in my face, like, you thought you was running, girl. You thought you was hot. No, I knew y'all were coming. Y'all been following me for 10 years. So why would I not know you coming? Of course you coming. You done followed me to 3-4 different states, and I knew you were there. Y'all let me know y'all was there. So why would I not know you there? But now they're at the point where they don't give a shit. They don't care. Remember, I told you the little girl and the woman standing in the pharmacy, and that was the first time I knew it's got to be law enforcement involved in this because they don't give a shit about the police. They don't. And the woman told the teenage girl that was standing there with her, the teenage girl said, she knows we're following her. And the woman looked at her and said, so? I swear on my mama's grave. I'm looking at the lid. I turned around. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is how, okay, now I know how to play the game. Good. I'm cool. I'm good. After that, my fear went away because I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. So you know when somebody's following you. So anyway, the girl in the hotel, back to her. Something said, look out the window. And she walked from the hotel all the way across the parking lot. I'll say 4 or 5, the length of maybe half a football field. She walked all the way across the parking lot, and there was a car parked behind a vending truck. I could see the front of it, but I couldn't see the whole car. And when they knew she was coming, they pulled up, and she got in the car, and they left. And I was like, okay, so I know it was her. There's another dude in there. He had tattoos on his arm. He was standing in the hallway out the blue. Had never seen him on the floor, but I'd been there 2 days at this point. Okay, so now you said, something said, open the door. I was getting ready to go into the bathroom and brush my teeth, and something said, no, open the door first. I opened the door. He was damn near standing right in front of my door. I scared him, and he moved over to the elevator. And pushed the button to act like he was on his phone, huh?
Is it a morning time or night or
during the day? No, this is during the day. They, baby, this is a 24-hour operation. They switch shifts. It's never the same person. It's never the same crew. There are different crews for different. They switch shifts like a job. Do you understand what I'm saying? At
FBI?
Right. I got a crew that shuts down at 12, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. They work until 5 or 6. They switch shifts.
The FBI never sleep.
Correct. They'll send another shift, and they target me from the time I try to go to bed to the time I wake up in the morning. They're there. 5 o'clock in the morning, they're on the job. The motorcycle will go past the window. They'll let me know, yes, bitch, we out here. Yeah. So this is a 20, yeah. So for my thing is, you've been doing this now for 10 years. What am I going to do today that I didn't do 10 years ago? That's weird.
Hey, you know what? I remember hearing you mention about you like being on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what really pisses them off is when you go on vacation and they don't know about it, and you go somewhere that they ain't used to where you're going, and you be gone for longer than what you expected, and it drives them insane. Has that happened before?
No, but it would have, because
like you used to go to the country.
It would have.
I would have. And had your
right. I would have been out of the country. I would have been out of the country.
If you was coming home, you wouldn't even have a home because they would set that shit on fire because these people would like go crazy.
And I was actually hoping that would happen, and that I know that's a weird response, but that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, but yeah, I actually had made plans to leave the country the end of this year. I was supposed to leave the country, and I already know. Yeah, I already said the most. So I said, okay, well, divine Holy Spirit, if it's meant to be, and I do that all the time. So Spirit always tells me, this is the time or this is not the time. You can go here, but don't go there. You can do this, but don't do that. You can say this, but don't say that. And then sometimes it's just shut the fuck up. And that's the way my spirit speaks to me. But no, I get it. And but yeah, no, this is like right now they're using the weapon to sting me in my head. They're trying to throw me off the show, basically. But remember when the show shut down a few weeks ago?
Yep.
One of my spiritual sisters told me, she said, yeah, they were trying to get your show taken off the air, so you couldn't say anything. So now you mad because you monitoring what I'm saying and you can hear it, but you don't want me to say it, so you gonna shut the show down? That's weird. You mad because I know you listening to what I'm saying, and you mad because you hearing it, but you volunteering to listen to it. That's weird. I can't even make that make sense. Can you? I can't.
Not at all.
I can't. Yeah, you mad because you can hear me, but you monitoring me voluntarily, and you can't stop listening, but you mad about what you're hearing. That's weird. If I don't like what the fuck I'm listening to, I'm changing the channel, bitch. I'm hanging up.
You supposed to know, but you ain't supposed to know, and now they mad because you don't supposed to know, but you do know.
They know that I know. Yeah. So now you mad.
But you don't know.
Yeah. But on a crazy note, I have a brother that's slightly disabled. He's not disabled, but he's just slightly. Yeah, he's under care.
You tell me about it. I remember.
Yeah, and they sent him to the hospital this past Sunday. I don't know what it was, but he was sitting in his chair. He's minding his own business. My brother don't bother anybody. He's a sweet person. So he was sitting in the chair, and he jumped up and started grabbing his chest. And I don't want to cry because they think that's funny. Because by the time I had to call 911, the paramedics came, and we rushed him to I already knew what was going on with him, but I can't not take him to the hospital. You understand what I'm saying? I already knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because I am divinely protected. I don't know that my brother is divinely protected. Because they're trying to figure out, why the fuck can't we do this to you? That's not my problem. Y'all got to take that up with God. They've tried it on several occasions. They've tried it. They've tried to take me completely out in my sleep. They've tried it. They've all but crawled through the window with this weapon and stuck it directly in my face, and I think they've tried that too. Because the train goes off when I wake up. I think that's the alarm to let them know. Because this train don't go off until I move. When I move, that train sound, I think it is. That's a hell of a coincidence. Like every time I get up to pee, the train goes off. That's letting them know she's moving around. Y'all need to step away from the house. Because we don't know this bitch. She's a ninja.
Yeah.
But they attacked my brother in his chest with the weapon, and he jumped up out of his chair and ran over to the couch, and he was clutching his chest, and he couldn't catch his breath. And I'm asking him what he's feeling because I knew what they were doing. Well, we can't get you, so we gonna fuck with your brother. Really? That's what we doing? As human beings on the planet, 2024, I get it's a lot of strange shit going on, and I get it. And yeah, I get it. That's some mafia shit. Well, if we can't get you, we'll get your family. My niece just died last week. Her funeral's tomorrow. My sister died suddenly. The sister that lives right next door to me. She just died out the blue. like as far as we knew, there wasn't anything wrong with her. As far as we knew, she wasn't having any real serious medical conditions. I mean, we all got high blood pressure. That wasn't, we all, most of the family do, and we, taking medication for it. But she just died. We were talking about New Year's Eve dinner, and next thing I know, she's dead. And you think these motherfuckers stop attacking me? Hell no. As a matter of fact, they went in deeper. Let's kick her while she's down. They good at that. They did it when my mother died. You think they let up and let me, just kind of let her float for a day or two? Her mama died. No. If anything, they dig in deeper. Every time there's something tragic or something happens in my life, if it don't kick up, if they can't get a rise out of me, they double down. They lean into it. We got her now. She's on the road. Her mother died. She's gonna be real sad. Let's get her. Like, who does
that? Energy vampire demons and stuff like that. And
correct.
It's crazy because, like, when these people's birthday come around, you would think that them 24 hours they would pretty much be thinking all about themselves. They would be like selfish for themselves. But at the same time, they will still secretly try to see what you got going on their own birthday.
Right, and here's the thing, because I spent my birthday pretty much by myself because they sent a plant that was supposedly a friend of the family, and they made sure it was on my birthday, and they know I don't like this person. My nephew had planned to do something for my birthday. They sent that plant over to where my nephew was planning the surprise for my birthday, and she stayed over there the whole day to make sure that I didn't come over there. So I know I get the little nuances, and the guy that I have to send you the footage of the guy that threatened to burn my house to the ground. So it's funny that you said that. But yeah, he did say out loud that I'll burn that bitch to the ground. Is basically those were his words. I got him on camera day before yesterday outside giving my brother money to drink. My other brother that lives next door, he's an alcoholic to the point where he will drink himself to death. We are trying to get him to at least slow it down. We can't get him to stop drinking, but we can control it just within the family dynamic. This man is not part of our family. And I caught him on camera giving my brother money on the street at the bottom of the driveway. I got him on camera doing it. This is the same dude that he's one of the paid flunkies, because he's a flunky, because they make him perform with me while they hide out of the range of the camera. And they make him do, you really know how to set her off. No, I'm mad because he called my sister auntie, and he's telling them, I know them, they family, I could get her real good. And they paid him, and he took the money, not knowing why, what for, why you doing it. So they, and like I told Rashad, they picked the right neighborhood, they picked the right city, because the people around here, they'll slit your grandmama's throat for a can of beer. That's just how low vibrational these people are. I have this man on camera. I'll send you the footage so you can see this man handed my brother, my alcoholic brother. So now you're trying to kill my brother. I don't know what hand y'all played in my mother and my sister's death. I know how my nephew died. He was in another state. My niece is here. We don't know. I don't know what kind of hand y'all played in that. So now you feeding money to my alcoholic brother who is known to damn near drink himself to death. So now you're trying to kill him. And my other brother, y'all just sent him to the emergency room. So you're trying to kill him too? For real? This is what we doing. But so yeah. So at the end of the day, we're talking about the humanity, the integrity, the toxicity of what GangStalking is, and I don't even put the why in here, Fred, because we may never know the why. I know why. Now that I know who it is, I know why. And that's, believe it or not, I mean, even without, like I said, we'll get into that show later, but it's just pure narcissism and sociopathic behavior. There's a lot that rabbit hole deep, because I'm not the first person that this person's done this to. That part of it. How do I know that? Because the people that were around at the same time 10, 12 years ago told me that this isn't the first time. This person's done this before to somebody else. That's interesting. I'm not the type of person that throw up red flags about myself. And it's interesting, earlier you said about, being isolated. Some people who are isolated are a target. They seem to be an easy target. You don't have nobody around you. You don't have anybody to, and I get it. You don't have any recourse. You don't have anybody you can call. But when you are divinely connected to the Most High God, not by my own doing, not just because the words are coming out of my mouth, because I put my mouth on that statement, I stand on it. But at the same time, that's not my doing. When the Most High God puts his hand on your life, because like I told Rashad, I should have died when they fed me poison. I should have been dead. I should not be on the radio talking to you right now. They actually put poison in something that I ingested. The poison went through my body, and I shit it out. That was God. I had probably the worst diarrhea I had ever had in my life, and it all came out. Yeah, and then that's when God started talking to me. Go ahead. You said what? No, I'm sorry.
And you could tell it was something different because it never happened to you like that before.
Correct. Yeah.
And then, like I said, when you go into isolation and you think about, you reenact the events, and then you go like, wait a minute. And then you be like, oh, so that's what happened, and
Yeah, and like I said, prior to that, I knew something was weird, and then of course the obvious, stuff started happening. But then they watch you close enough to find out, of course, who your enemies are, and they try to break down your allies. They've done a very good job of that, but they've also done me a favor in a lot of those situations. A lot of those situations, they did me up. Yes, they did me a big favor. I'm not the type of person. I'm actually the opposite. If there's a lot of people around, I don't function very well. But when I'm by myself, I am so high vibrational because all I do is focus on the Most High God and my higher self. That's all I do. And that's dangerous for anybody that says they're my enemy, or they want to be an enemy, or they want to join my enemies, or they want to be involved in something that's going to irritate me. So whatever part that they play, and my family members, they have telltale signs. So I know who the ops are in my family because they tell on themselves.
Yep.
I have a brother that he's stolen from me so many times I don't even talk to him, and he talked to me the whole time I was at the family reunion. I was like, this nigga just telling on himself. He's just telling me, he calling me cute little nicknames and shit. I'm like, yeah, they must have gave you a lot of money because you don't even think. He might say hi and keep it pushing because he already know, because I was the only one in the family that can tell when he's lying. And he didn't like it. Even when I was a kid, I was the only one in the family that could tell. And then other people start, as I got older, now the family know, nah, this nigga is, don't let him in your house. I just got this. Yeah, I got some weird brothers. But, this particular brother, this particular brother, when he stepped all of these, called me cute little nicknames and stuff, and I'm like, this motherfucker, okay, they must have paid you a whole lot, dude.
You know what it was? Yeah. They paid him a whole lot, but he realized that he was busted, so he had to play the clown act, and
Correct. Yeah, and now I have a nephew that's doing the same thing. Every time I come around, he's a clown.
Busted.
But he's already, now he is a natural clown in the family. Like, he feel like the party don't start till he come in. That part.
Okay.
But now he's using it as a plot of foot. Like, now you done mix some poison in it. So now that you got this poison in it, you got to make it work. And now, and the backwards part of this relationship is, I ain't never had no smoke with this nephew. I love him. All of my nephews are cool with me. And this one included, except for now. And he just came after me out of the blue. Like, I mean, he just started coming after me out of nowhere. Right, the very week that my sister died, he came after me. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing right now? So anytime you bring family or whoever to the house and they disrespect your dead auntie's house and you think it's funny, you have a mental disorder. Yeah, it's no longer funny. That is mentally ill. Your mother just died, Fred, and you invited me over to, kind of grieve with the family and pay your condolences. And I'm up in there like, yeah, bitch, motherfucker, turn up, yeah, fuck, hit this, yeah, what's up, y'all? Yeah, now I'm in the house. Now I'm in this motherfucker. And your mother just died.
I'm probably going to jail.
Right, yeah, I'm going to, exactly. And a lot of us should have went to jail. Now, I was close. I think I came closer to going to jail than anybody did. Because it got real crazy. They were in my sister's house, a beautiful home, by the way. They in there tearing the house up, putting their feet up, drinking, walking across the floor. My sister didn't have none of that. She didn't even let you in the house with your shoes on. He let his people and his family and his immediate circle come to my sister's house and completely disrespect her and thought it was funny. And they laughed about it. That's the kind of karma that makes me, I get all warm and fuzzy inside when the Most High God Creator starts giving me downloads about these people. And I'll be like, okay, God, and he's like, now do what I say. You hear what I'm saying? Do what I say. And I'm like, yeah, okay, God, all right. Yeah.
Cut him off. Cut him off. He's telling you to cut him off.
Oh, no, that's a given. I'm talking about what the Most High God is telling me that's coming for these people, for coming at me, for coming for me, and I didn't call them. Yeah. You coming for me, and I ain't even call you. I don't know your name. I couldn't have called you. I couldn't have called you. I don't even know you. But as far as the family that got involved without knowing the whole story, oh, my Lord Jesus, yeah. But it's like, okay, God, I really don't want to see anything bad happen to my family. But the Most High God says, I get that, but you're a divine chosen one, and I sent you here to do something. And because they don't want you to do it, they feel like the only way to keep you from doing it is to become one of your enemies, and that's not right, because all you've been is loving and kind to these people, and that's true. Am I perfect? No. But would I ever let anything, within my power, would I ever let anything happen to my family? Hell no. No. and I'm still helping people that I know is an op. I'm still loving and kind to people that I already know done turncoat on me. I know for sure, 100% without a doubt, that they have been infiltrated by the stalking gang. And guess what? I still treat them nice.
Hey, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they know?
They know.
And you know what's funny?
So now it's a cat and mouse game, right?
There's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it because they cannot, I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it, they cannot renege the contract or the secret contract they signed with the devil.
That part. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And not only that, they have to stick to the narrative. So everybody's painted this narrative. They're hitting me in my chest right now, trying to make me have a heart attack. They've been doing that for years. I don't even worry about it because the Most High God has already blocked it. But they've been trying to make me have a heart attack for the last 5 years. But the family member that I know, so they have to stick to that narrative that they're painting of, something wrong with Auntie. She flipping out. I don't know why she act like that. Auntie, she been acting crazy. Like, I don't know. Yeah, and so these are the conversations they're having behind my back. Like, yeah. You said what?
For how long?
Oh, this has been going on since I first discovered. When I thought like a real family, like a family that would say, okay, what's going on though? Why do you feel this way, or why do you think that? And I couldn't figure out you know what I'm saying? So again, it's the same thing as about casting your pearls upon swine. Everybody's not going to understand. And then when the Most High God told me, look, that's not their battle, and it's not even yours. I'm doing this so that I could set you up for something greater. They're going to watch you eat in their face. And speaking of eating, my brother that I told you that they sent to the emergency room, he gets benefit. He gets food benefits on a car. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
They stole them with the help of somebody in New York. So of course you got to file a report. You got to go through fraud and everything. And I went to get his groceries, and his food benefits were gone off the car, like zero. They were gone. And I laughed because I already knew. I was like, wow, wow, really? Y'all really going like this far? And so I did everything I needed to do, and I called everybody, and the woman told me, but I had to report it a few different places.
This happened the same day?
Yeah, this happened the same day. Or you mean what? Him going to the emergency room?
No, I'm talking about with the with his situation with the food stamp card or whatever.
Yeah. This was all the same day. Yeah, I had to call and file a report, and then so I had to call his caseworker, and because I'm I'm his guardian at the moment. So when stuff like that happens, because I'm responsible for his meals and so on and so forth, and when they came up missing, so fraud has to go in and they'll track the transactions. She said, this would be fraud because you're in Ohio. I see you're in Ohio. These transactions took place in New York. The person that started this whole stalking campaign on me in the first place lives in New York, New Jersey. Is it a coincidence? I mean, yeah. Hey, is it a coincidence? I mean, yeah. So they tracked him. They tracked all the transactions. They told me where they were, and they got the time that the transactions took place, and they have the name of the store that the transactions took place in New York. This was 5 days ago, the first.
Hey, did you find a mystery person?
If they did, it's not that person. I'm sure it's just like here. They'll get a dope dealer, a drug dealer, somebody just got out of jail, meth head, a crackhead, somebody's child, a teenager. They'll grab an old man off the street. I done had bums walk in front of my car. Like, yeah, they're not going to get their hands dirty. They can't. They cannot. Yeah.
None of us.
They'll get anybody else but them. They'll pay a hooker, a hoe, a pimp, a drug dealer. Yeah, somebody's crazy child. Yeah, huh?
A random prop.
You said I can't hear you.
A random prop.
Yeah, they're flunkies, lackeys, low life. Yeah, people that just they'll, like I said, they'll slit your grandmama's throat for $5 and a hit. Those are the people that don't have anything to lose. They had a random dude living in the garage across the street from my house. Had I not been riding by when the garage was open, it was two grown ass niggas sitting in the garage in the dark together. Either y'all gay or y'all just got busted. This is one of the two. Now one of the dudes disappeared. I don't know where he went, but the other dude was over there for the lawn. He would be out at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning riding around the block on a bike in his pajamas. And y'all want to paint a mental health picture about me? Like, I got this nigga on camera. This is 6 a.m. It's 5:30, 6 a.m. on a bike in his pajamas, riding around this house on a bicycle. I'm sorry, what is happening right now?
You forgot to mention the bonnet on his head.
I mean, you have to laugh because, like I said, one of the things that we didn't get to tonight, and again, it will come around, is like, what is the conversation? Like, what is the conversation? Like, what do you say? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're stalking this woman. This person. It don't even have to be a woman. I'm just going to say, I'm going to take myself out the equation for a minute because I know what my situation is. But we're going to stalk somebody. You don't need to know why. And this is what we want you to do. We're going to pay you. And they actually have people in the car if they see me walking somewhere. I used to walk down the street. So they would drop people off on the corner where they knew I was walking toward. Because I'm not going to veer from my path. So they'll drop people off a block away or around the corner from my path. And when I get to that corner, they'll have like a group of people walk in front of me. They used to do that. Back in the day, it was a whole group of black girls. And they dropped them off at the corner. And when I got to the corner, I could see them crossing the street so they could be in my path. And I guess they thought I was going to move or get out in the street or something. For what? I see you. Girl, I see you. Do you know I see you? I see you. So what you gonna do? So when I walked past them, I said, "Good morning, ladies." They said, "Good morning." Like, they don't, and like I said, you're giving off that we don't even know. Why are we doing this again? Because I could have been hateful and rolled my eyes and walked past them and didn't, and they would say, "Fucking bitch." Now that's happened before too. I was getting my tires rotated. And of course I'm sitting in the waiting area waiting to get my tires done. And a girl and her dude, they got this thing about flaunting women that they think look better than me in front of me. Is weird. They'll have them walk past the house. That's a whole nother issue. That's just weird. But the girl comes in and she's all over her boyfriend and everything. So I moved my purse and I looked at her and I turned my head and I got up and got ready to walk out. She was like, "Bitch. First of all, I don't know you. What's your name?" Like my spiritual sister said today, "What is your name again? Because I don't know you." But that's not the first one. I believe I mentioned to you about a whole group of women that parked behind the fence in front of my house and was calling me ugly over the fence. "You're ugly." It is just weird, Fred. It's so weird. And I'm like, okay, you drove all the way over to, first of all, you wasted gas. There's no way I'm going to waste gas to drive to a bitch's house just to tell her she ugly. I'm not going to do that.
You won't waste gas, radiator
You done
fluid,
figured, and not only that, you got 3-4 other bitches in the car with you. And I'm sitting on the porch, and I'm like, wow. I'm sitting on my porch,
and look,
drink coffee. That's weird.
And then
huh?
look, out of that group riding with these psychopaths, I'm pretty sure somebody had a child or children.
Of course they do.
I'm saying to myself, y'all, people be having kids and grandkids and stuff like that.
Grandkids, and y'all got children. I said the same thing.
Y'all been focused on somebody else's life. I'm like, man, hell no.
I cannot on my mother's grave. I said the same thing.
In love with myself.
I'm like, these
I'm so in love with myself that
right.
I'm so in love with myself because I'm so different from everybody, and they ain't no cocky shit.
Yeah,
I'm so humble because I want everybody to win. I'm saying like, if I got nieces, I'm feeling like
this is what you teaching your children. Because their children, I don't know, and again, I'll do a whole thing about the device because they give the device to the teenagers and the younger children to actually use and utilize. And the first day I found that out, they gave it to a little boy. The little boy's got to be between 9 and 11 maybe. And he stood at the corner in front of the house across the street from me on the corner. And he was holding the phone. But while he was holding the phone, he's looking down at it, and I'm looking at him. And every now and then he would lean up and lick his tongue out at me. So he's letting me know, I see you here and I see you there. I see you here and I see you there. And he kept looking at, and one of the handlers, I guess you could call him, he used to come outside and play with his dick in front of me in his pants. I can't make this up. He ran out and grabbed the little boy and told him, no, don't do that. Because this is what you're teaching your children to do. But this particular handler, this young dude, whoever he was, or this dude, grown dude, he used to come outside, and when I would come outside, he'd come out in his pajama pants and stick his hand down in his pants and play with himself while I was sitting on the porch. He wasn't the only one that did it. The dude that used to live directly across from me, they eventually locked him up for, I think, attempted murder. But yeah, he used to do it too. Come outside and grab a branch on a tree right directly in front of my house. I'm sitting on the porch at 7, 8 o'clock. I used to like to go out and, drink a nice cup of coffee, and just wait for my mom to get up and start my day. And this motherfucker would stand there and hang one hand on the tree and hang on the tree like a monkey and put his hands in his pants and play with himself in front of my face. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah. No, you have to be outside your mind. That's a demon. I know a demon when I see one. I've seen plenty of them. That's a fucking demon.
You related to him?
The handler that they had teaching everybody how to. I saw him standing there telling the girls how to hit me in the neck and the face and stuff with this device and how to do it. And when you do it like this. He's standing there training them, and I'm sitting there watching him on camera, tell him what to do with the device. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah, you're a whole demon. He walked past the house, and I knew who he was. This is actually a white dude. But he walked past the house, and I could see his silhouette, but I couldn't see him. I was like, wow, this nigga is carrying a whole demon and don't even know it. Like, I went outside to take the trash, and, of course, they time me because they know when I'm coming out of the house. And so I knew he was coming. So when I went to the garbage, I said, hey, demon. I did. I spoke to the demon. I didn't speak to him. I spoke to the demon. I said, hey, demon. Because I could see that motherfucker. And you know how you see somebody like on a picture on TV, it looks dark. They make the black and white photo and it looks dark and ashy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this man looked when he was walking past. Because I'm looking, because I usually don't pay him no attention. But I'm looking, I'm like, this motherfucker is carrying a whole, he don't even know it's a demon on his back. And you out here doing this bullshit. He's got children and grandchildren. The girl was across the street. She's got children and grandchildren. These people got children and grandchildren, and they doing this bullshit for real, for real. That's crazy. Go ahead. What was you saying?
Oh, no, I was saying about the guy, and it's like you seeing that he got like a whole demon on it, and like I said, it's like he a prop. They props.
Yeah, but they don't like I said, the black dude that was giving my brother the money that I got on camera. He's a prop, you know. But when you can only think at a certain level, because even though my family is telling me, oh no, we know him, so because like I said in the beginning, I was telling them like, y'all don't know this dude is fucking with me, and I couldn't figure out when I tell my family that somebody's fucking with me, my family automatically they go to the side of the person that's fucking with me. So they're out. They're ops and didn't even mean to be ops at this point. But yeah, this dude, like, they'll hide out of camera range because they know where my cameras are. So they'll hide so they don't get caught by the cameras. And this dude is pacing up and down the middle of the street like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna burn your motherfucking house down. like you really letting them use you like that? Yes. I had that nigga on camera. I sent it to my family members because they didn't believe me. Oh, he ain't like that. You need to quit going outside. So I got to quit going outside. I bet you I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because he don't live down here. He lives in another end of the street. And the dude with the demon on it, he don't live on the street. Matter of fact, most of the people that walk past when I'm out there, they do not live on this street. They don't live on the street. This is the side of a side street. And when I tell you it's motorcycles and cars and zip cars and FBI and unmarked vehicles, and they just up and down the street all day. Yep, all day. They parked around the corner. They in the back. They parked across the street. They parked on the other street, hiding on the next corner over. They parked at the cross section. Because I've caught them. The question is, what for?
Monitoring.
You said what?
Monitoring, watching.
Of course. Well, yeah, because that's the job. Yeah, we monitor her. Monitor her for what? We're monitoring her. Monitoring her for what?
You're a terrorist. That's why. You're a terrorist.
Dude. If I'm a terrorist, then somebody just shot up a whole school in Georgia, and they had interviewed that motherfucker a year before.
You had something to do with it because you live in Georgia. Yeah.
I got something to do with that too. Yeah, I used to live in New York, so I guess I have something to do with my food stamps coming up missing too.
Yep. They knew that will happen.
Exactly.
Yep.
Absolutely. I have something to do with that too.
I'm a whole
terrorist. I'm a whole terrorist in this motherfucker.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's murderers, dope dealers, drug dealers, pedophiles.
I don't know what you with your
burglars, gamblers, pickpocket, whatever.
I'm gonna try to help you with the GoFundMe. That's all I can do.
That's all you can do? Well, I appreciate that.
I know
a whole family full of people that won't do that. So I appreciate you, bro. I
gotta give me a new radio for my car. My radio radiator. I give me a new radio.
Get you a new radio.
This real talk.
Do me a GoFundMe. I know a family
for my radiator. Shit.
Dude. But yeah, it's I had to expose 2 of their flunkies. That's why I hadn't been talking about the family reunion, because I had to. One of the dudes just walked up in my face like he was daring, say something. I dare you to say something. And I'm like, why would I do that? And I know they're already here. First of all, and second of all, you already know they paid you to do what you did. Not too long ago, a year and a half ago. So the dude walked right into my family reunion and got up in my face. He didn't say anything. So I guess he thought I was going, yeah, you know what? You get the fuck out of my face. I looked at him and started laughing. I was like, wow. Y'all motherfuckers got to be hard up for $1. But I didn't say anything to him. I fixed my plate. Me and my brother, the same brother that they sent to the ER, he was with me at the family reunion. I fixed our plate and I went to my room. I already know they sent you over here, dude. You think you're doing something, but you're not. What you gonna do? What you think I'm gonna do? And he stood there. He walked up to me, but he didn't say anything. Because what you gonna say? Because anybody else would have walked up to me and be like, did you tell your family that I da-da-da-da? But he didn't do that. I was waiting because he know he don't want that smoke. You do not want me to open up that whole can. Really? But yeah, we were at my sister's birthday party one day out of town. And again, a nigga I barely know. He was supposed to be a friend of my nephew who passed away. But I found out he was shady to my nephew. So dude, I already know you shady. I already know you shady. You did your friend who was your friend. You did him wrong. Because his mama, who also died, she told me you did. So you was already suspect anyway. But yeah, he walked up to me and started telling me I was all kind of freak, nasty hoes. Like he was just somebody told me and somebody told me and somebody told me and somebody told me and somebody said, and I was like, well, what did you say? Oh, I don't know you like that. I ain't say nothing. What was I supposed to say? But somebody told me. I said, somebody like who? Who are you talking to? You think he told me?
Say his name.
Absolutely not. I said, who are you talking to? Who told you that? And where are your receipts? Where are your receipts? Dude, I don't need, what is your, I'm like my spiritual sister said today, what is your name again? Because, dude.
Hey, did he bring it up?
Yeah. I was sitting there minding my
Why
own
would a
business.
dude bring it up?
That part. That part. But again, it's part of, we need to paint a narrative. You need to spread these lies for us so that we can paint the narrative that she's nasty, freaky, whatever he was saying. I heard that you like freaking nigga. Dude, I don't even go out. Let's just start there. And so I was upset. The only person I could really kind of get stuff off my chest was my nephew. And he's one of my baby nephews. He's not like my older nephews, but he's a different nephew. And he said, but Auntie, you really don't go out somewhere. He said, I've never heard of you going out anywhere. I've never seen you in a bar. I've never even seen you take a drink, although you told me you used to drink. Never. He said, I've never. He said, well, why would he do that? I was like, I have no idea. He said, no, I know that's not you. Now, that nephew is a different nephew, but he's also separate from that part of the family because he's got his own family. He lives in a different state. He does his own thing. So I know he's not tainted. You understand what I'm saying? So I can go to him and he'd be like, yeah, that don't make no sense because that's not even your MO. Like, the MO has to match. Like, yeah. And I know that, especially when people come to me and be like, oh, well, you this and you that. And I'm sorry, where are you getting this from? When was I, where are your receipts? That's what I want to know. Where are your receipts? Because, yeah, there's, when the MO does not fit, like I said, I don't know you from Boo, but, Fred went on the air and said he was a bank robber. No, Fred never said that. He's never said that. He's never I've never done. Now, I don't know you. I don't know if you've been a bank robber before, and I'm not accusing you of being one. But yeah, I could clearly say no. He's never been on my show and said that. Nah, yeah, that's not true. And I got receipts. I could pull up all the shows that he was on. And you see what I'm saying? So I'm talking about bringing receipts. Like so they paint the narrative. So they're doing that Donald Trump shit. I'll say it. And see who it stick to. They're doing that. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and say.
And to see who people will pick sides. To see who will pick sides.
You know what? You know, one day I saw a Christmas tree come out this bitch's coochie, and a lot of people would be like, "No, get out of here," and a lot of people would be like, "You know what? Y'all crazy. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop this shit." It might be 2 or 3 people that might believe it.
Yep.
You might have a handful of people that really believe that bullshit.
Yep.
So that's that Donald Trump narrative. Of course, I'm gonna say it, and I know it's gonna sound crazy as hell, but it's gonna be some Trump supporters out there that's gonna be like, I know, right? Fuck your black job.
If he said it's true.
If he said it is true, yeah. I know Donald Trump, and I have been a strong supporter for years, and if he says it, it is true.
Yep.
If we touch black people, the black will rub off on us. He said it, and it's true.
Yep. I've seen it.
I've seen it happen, and no one ain't seen it happen. Yeah, I have actually seen it done. I have a cousin that actually turned black from touching another black person. It really happened. Like, what
I
the
do
fuck?
it all the time.
Yeah, right. I do it all the time. I know him. He's telling the truth. Those really are shithole countries.
Come holler at me so I can do it to you.
You said what?
Come holler at me so I can rub my shit on you.
I'm telling you. So that's that. Yeah, that's that kind of near. I'm gonna say it and worry about it being a lie later. But if I put it out there, then it's gonna stick to a few people. And this, so far with my family, it's worked. They actually believe that shit. They actually believe it. For fear of I might lose a friend, or just in case my aunt really is crazy, I don't want to be on her side. If she really is crazy for real, yeah, I don't want to be in that number. That's funny.
It's too bad. It's too bad. Like every time in the movies, when the world about to end, it's always the crazy people that's right. And then when it ended, they be like, "Damn, I should have listened to my crazy ass cousin, my crazy ass sister, or my crazy ass whatever."
Correct. You've seen the movie with Pretty Woman. What's her name? Julia Roberts. It's an old movie. Julia Roberts and
Richard Gere.
No, it's the dude that made Passion of the Christ. What's his name again? Mel Gibson. It's a movie with Mel, and it's called not the Philadelphia Experience. That's the one about AIDS. It's a different movie, but it was about conspiracy theory, and he ran around town with the tinfoil hat on his head and was talking about the Secret Service was coming to get him and all types of stuff. And he ran into Julia Roberts, and they were telling her, "Look, don't get involved with this guy. He's crazy. He's nuts." And the CIA was telling her he's crazy, and they were really literally trying to kill him. They would show that throughout the movie, and he was running around and telling her, and he messed around and gave her. I believe how it started was he gave her a file that she had seen before. And until he handed it to her, she had actually forgot about it. So she started digging and went back to him. Now, the same crazy man. She found him in a house, I think, with newspaper or aluminum foil on the walls. And it's funny because I have Mylar on my windows. And I know my family probably feel like, well, she probably put it up thinking that it's going to do something. But it actually keeps the cold air and it keeps it cool in the house in the summertime, and it keeps the cold air out in the wintertime. That's why I have it up at the windows. But I'm going to let my family think I got it up there because I'm losing my mind because I like that better. So anyway, but yeah, it's a whole movie. It's Julia Roberts and Mel Gibson. And do you know which movie I'm talking about? Have you seen it before? I know I'm older than you, but it came out a while back. It's an old movie. It came out a long time ago. And I think I saw it come up on my free movies feed at one time. But then she started digging, and she was like, wait a minute, because there was some mention about a cover up and da-da-da-da. And then she seen this file. She kept looking. She was like, yeah. And it turned out she ended up saving his life because they really were trying to kill him. And I forgot how it ended. I don't know if she put him in some witness protection program or something, but she actually ended up saving his life at the end of the movie because they really were trying to kill him. So those type of things, I mean, we can believe that. And we can believe that our phones are tapped. We can believe that, when we are watching TV or on a computer that people are looking back at us because they have the ability to do that. They just said on the television the other day that it's been approved to put chips in newborn babies in, what was it, Uganda? Have you heard that yet?
Yeah, it was Bill Gates somewhere in Africa.
Is that who? Yeah, right. Absolutely, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. No, I was just making sure that you heard the same story I heard, because I could sit on here and make up stuff, but why should I when there's so much truth to be told? You understand what I'm saying? Why would I sit on this show, Crown Knowledge Radio, and lie? Because there's so much truth to be told. And my heart was breaking. Yeah, my heart. I'm looking at the TV like, are we serious, God? Like, really? I get that we here for an experience, but the babies can't even go home when the mothers give birth. They immediately inject the baby with a chip, and then you could take the baby home. So they want to track. Yeah. Go ahead.
Track and pretty much predict the child's future without
Absolutely.
the child.
They don't.
Without the child experiencing their own future.
Your own innate consciousness, correct. Why would you do that? That's weird. But yeah, and again, I'm speaking stuff that's already out there. I can't make this up because there's too much Google, there's too much internet online. There's too much info. This is the most free information that's ever been on the planet ever, and it's getting more free. All you got to do is say AI. How many people are already chipped on the planet? And AI is supposed to be able to tell you, because you know why? Because that shit is digital, because it's connected, because it's part of AI sensory, because AI is getting smarter than the people who are using it, because AI already dug up that data from places that we didn't even know the data existed. And it's getting smarter every day. You said what?
And it's the same thing that was going on in the Terminator movies.
That part.
Which is like created by Sophia Stewart, but that's another topic.
Correct.
But it's the same thing with the Terminator. We're talking about how you pretty much when people mess around with science and create something that will pretty much outdo you, and then once the shit hit the fan, you got no control, like talking about it, because they can outperform you in the stuff that you program them to do, like handle guns,
and that
fireworks, real fireworks instead of firecrackers. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I get it.
And then
no, go ahead. No,
they had this. Like I said, they be having this stuff. Systems talking about the AI takeover and robots and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because they pretty much let you know what's going on, and you sit around like, why should?
It's funny because my nephew, this is another nephew. I have a lot of nephews, but this particular nephew rolled up to the house where we, live. My sister used to live next door. I live right next door to her. And he's like, he said, why is there unmarked vehicles parked down the street? He said he used to pull up. He said, every time I pull up, it's a car parked either down the street or on the block. So he was seeing these people. And now, they be doing drug deals and stuff over here. And you're not going to sit a whole unmarked vehicle. They do that in Mississippi and in some spots in Georgia, and maybe like Birmingham. They don't even do that in New York because it's a waste of time. But you're going to sit several unmarked, blacked out vehicles around one neighborhood. They corner off every block, and he used to pull up. He says some feds sitting around the house. Why are the feds outside? Why the feds around? I came up on the back end of the street, because remember I sit on a back street and an alleyway, a side of a side street and an alleyway, really, literally. And he would see them. But this is the same nephew that just told me a couple of days ago that there was something wrong with me. So you believe that. You see it with your own eyes. But at the same time, now is something wrong with me? Really? It can't be both. I can't help you through probably one of the worst times of your life when your mother died. I can't be that person that helped you through paperwork and probate and Social Security and da-da-da-da-da and getting situated and the funeral and the burial and the da-da-da. I mean, it took us months, and we're just now getting done with all of that. I go from that person to something's wrong with you and elite. I can't be both. I can't be crazy and helpful. I got to be one or the other.
And the crazy part is the way he did it backwards. Because
right,
he could have been like, girl, it's something wrong with you. You tripping. And then saying like what you was talking about. But the thing is, he seen what you was talking about, then turn around and say, girl, you tripping.
Correct. You seen it. Yeah. And again, God rest her soul, not bringing my sister's, energy into this, but she knows I love her, and she tells me now every day that she loves me too. But I showed her the drone was over the house, and she looked up. She said, "What is that?" I said, "That's a drone." I said, "You've heard of a drone before? Well, just don't pay it no attention." And I just fell back in my chair on the porch. I'm like, Jesus, Mary, really? She looked up and saw the actual drone over my house. I said,
no.
I said, look up. And she looked up. She said, what is that? And she saw that. I said, that's a drone. And she said, oh, what did it do? I said, it spies on you. And she called me by my government name and said, just ignore it. You. And once again, it was something you saw it with your own eyes. But yeah, I don't care. You still. You still crazy. There's still something wrong with you. I cannot make this shit up. I'm like, wow, really, God? You're going to really make this all about you. Okay. So it is all about the Most High God. Absolutely. He said, I'm going to fix it where it's going to have to only be about me. And he really did. He really, really did. She, it, that Most High God energy, yeah, but our clock is running out. But go ahead. You were going to say something?
She could have made you felt better if she had said like, "Oh, that's just the neighbor's kids with toys."
I would have felt better if she said that's probably one of the neighbor's kids' toys. Yeah, I probably would have felt better, Fred. Yeah, she just told me to ignore it.
By saying like, "Oh, yeah, oh," it's like you like, okay, oh, damn, you find out one of the damn secrets what you supposed to find out.
Yeah, or that, yeah. Ain't nobody watching you. Ain't nobody, and it makes my family angry, especially when they step outside their comfort zone, and that's something else because that's really something I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So instead of trying to understand or say, it's a possibility, but why do you? My brother was the only one, and my sister-in-law said, who would spend that kind of time and energy and money doing that to you? Who to you? Like who do you think you are? Why would somebody do that to you?
Because you miss this big stuff. Miss this big stuff. It's just like a song. Miss the big stuff. Who do you think you are? Oh.
Well, we're gonna
I know who I think I am. And you
right,
do too.
Yeah, but and you do too. That's yeah.
You just don't want
anyway.
You just don't want to say it. You just don't want to say it.
Yeah, that's man. We got to get back into that. We're going to continue with this in another show, Fred. Our clock has run out like 20 seconds. I am so sorry, sweetheart, but I always appreciate you being in the show with me. And again, we're going to talk.
We good.
Yeah, we're going to talk offline about how and where we're going to post these, and then I'm going to get you into some more shows with me. How about that?
Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's good.
All right. Okay. Good night, sweetheart. Talk to you later.
All right. Good night.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
Black Friday is coming, and for the adults in your life who love the coolest toys, well, there's something for them this year too. Bartesian is the premier craft cocktail maker that automatically makes more than 60 seasonal and classic cocktails, each in under 30 seconds at the push of a button. And right now, Bartesian is having a huge site-wide sale. You can get $100 off any cocktail maker or cocktail maker bundle when you spend $400 or more. So, if the cocktail lover in your life has been good this year, or the right kind of bad, get them Bartesian. At the push of a button, make bar-quality cosmopolitans, martinis, Manhattans, and more. All in just 30 seconds. All for $100 off. Amazing toys aren't just for kids. Get $100 off a cocktail maker when you spend $400 through Cyber Monday. Visit Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.